Plato, one of the greatest philosophers of all time, left a profound mark not only on the history of philosophy, but also on how humanity thinks and understands the world. He laid the foundation for Western philosophy, turning questions about nature, ethics, and truth into the core of intellectual inquiry. With timeless ideas, Plato not only shaped philosophical thought, but also opened doors to other fields such as politics, education, and art. When mentioning Plato, one often thinks of the theory of forms, a bold and challenging doctrine. He argued that the material world we see is merely a shadowy reflection of the perfect world of forms. In this ideal world, everything exists in its purest state, unaffected by change or destruction. This idea not only transformed how we perceive reality, but also sparked profound questions about existence and the meaning of life. Plato's famous work, The Republic, is one of the most influential philosophical masterpieces. In this work, he described an ideal society founded on justice and wisdom. Plato believed that only leaders with exceptional intellect and morality, whom he called philosopher kings, could guide society toward prosperity. This perspective not only reflected his philosophical thinking, but also laid the groundwork for later political and ethical systems. Plato did not stop at theorizing philosophy. He also put his ideas into practice by founding the Academy in Athens. Considered the first university in the world, it was a place where scholars and thinkers could freely exchange and develop knowledge. The Academy symbolized the pursuit of truth and produced great minds, including Aristotle, who expanded and developed Plato's ideas. One of the highlights of Plato's philosophy is the dialogical form, particularly in his works. Instead of presenting theories in dry essays, he used dialogues between characters, often with Socrates playing a central role. This format not only brought philosophical ideas to life, but also encouraged readers to think and question for themselves. It established a new method of education and knowledge dissemination, emphasizing the importance of participation and personal exploration. Plato's relationships with Socrates and Aristotle are also crucial to his legacy. As a student of Socrates, Plato not only recorded his teacher's thoughts, but also developed them into profound philosophical systems. At the same time, as Aristotle's mentor, he inspired and imparted knowledge to one of the most influential philosophers of all time. The connection between these three thinkers created a monumental lineage of knowledge, shaping Western philosophy for millennia. What makes Plato truly exceptional is not only his timeless philosophical ideas, but also how he connected them to practical matters. He did not merely ask questions about the nature of justice, ethics, and knowledge, but also sought to apply them to human life. His ideas on education, politics, and art remain relevant, continuing to be explored and implemented in the modern world. Plato was a philosopher who constantly sought and questioned. He inspired millions to continue exploring, thinking, and questioning the world around them. He reminds us that knowledge is not a destination, but a journey. To understand the nature of the universe and humanity's place within it, we must possess boundless curiosity and patience in the pursuit of truth. Plato's legacy lies not only in his philosophical works, but also in the spirit of those who learn and explore. He emphasized that true understanding is not about gathering information, but about seeing the true essence of things. This is not only true for philosophy, but applies to every aspect of life, from science to art. In today's world, Plato's ideas remain vibrant and highly relevant. They remind us of the importance of curiosity, courage, and critical thinking. He taught us that only by asking questions and seeking answers can we gain deeper insights into ourselves and the world around us. Plato was not just a philosopher of antiquity, but a torchbearer of knowledge for future generations. He exemplifies the power of thought, curiosity, and determination in exploring the unknown. This very spirit is the source of all progress, propelling humanity forward on its endless journey of knowledge and understanding. Plato is renowned not only for his brilliant philosophical ideas, but also for his theory of forms, one of the revolutionary concepts of Western philosophy. This theory introduced a completely new perspective on the nature of reality and the meaning of existence. becoming the foundation for many subsequent philosophical schools of thought. Plato argued that the world we live in, the material world, is merely an imperfect version of a higher realm, the world of forms. According to him, the material world is ever-changing, transient and unstable, whereas the world of forms is eternal, unchanging, and perfect. The objects we see around us, from trees and rivers to people, are mere faint reflections of the ideal forms that exist independently in the world of forms. For example, a chair we see might be beautiful or imperfect, but it reflects part of the idea of a chair, an ideal, perfect model existing independently in the world of forms. Plato believed that only through knowledge and philosophical thinking could humans access these higher forms. He asserted that sensory perception could only bring us closer to the material world, while intellectual perception is the key to unlocking the door to the world of forms. This theory is vividly illustrated in Plato's famous work, The Allegory of the Cave. In this allegory, he describes people chained inside a cave, seeing only shadows reflected on the wall. These shadows represent the material world we perceive, while the light outside the cave symbolizes the world of forms. Only when a person escapes the cave can they access true light and see the actual essence of things. This is not just a philosophical story, but an invitation for humanity to step beyond the limits of sensory knowledge to seek higher truths. Plato's theory of forms is not merely an abstract philosophical viewpoint, but has profound implications for various fields. In politics, this theory was applied to construct the idea of an ideal state, where leaders are those capable of accessing the notions of higher justice and truth. In art, Plato used this theory to criticize imitative art, arguing that it merely reproduces imperfect versions of reality, thereby distancing itself further from the ideal forms. Furthermore, Plato's theory laid the groundwork for philosophical debates spanning centuries. Questions such as, what is reality, and how do we know the truth, remain central to many philosophical schools, from Aristotle to modern philosophy. While Aristotle focused on the empirical world and rejected the idea of a separate world of forms, modern philosophers like Descartes and Kant found inspiration in Plato's theory to develop their own philosophical systems. One of the strengths of the theory of forms is its ability to stimulate imagination and critical thinking. This theory not only raises important questions, but also encourages people to continuously seek and think deeply about the nature of existence. It challenges us to go beyond the limits of conventional knowledge, prompting us to question things we often take for granted. Although the theory of forms has faced criticism and debate, particularly from empiricists, its immense influence on the history of philosophy cannot be denied. Plato charted a new course where philosophy is not merely a description of the world, but a tool for uncovering the deepest truths. Ultimately, Plato's theory of the world of forms reminds us that true understanding does not come solely from observation, but also from thought and exploration. The world we see may only be a small part of a larger reality, and to access the truth, we must surpass our own limitations. This is the timeless message Plato sought to convey through his theory. Plato is not only renowned for his profound philosophical ideas, but also left a significant mark through his work. The Republic, one of the most influential philosophical masterpieces in human history. This work is not merely a book on philosophy, but a detailed blueprint for constructing an ideal society where justice, wisdom, and ethics are central. In the Republic, Plato posed the fundamental question, what is justice? From this question, he analyzed the concept of justice not only on an individual level, but also on a societal scale. According to Plato, a society can only achieve justice when each person fulfills their role and responsibilities based on their natural abilities and capacities. He divided society into three main classes: the laboring class, producers of goods; the soldier class, defenders of society; and the philosopher kings, leaders with superior intellect and virtue. This division was not intended to create inequality, but to ensure that each individual contributes optimally to the development of society. One of the most important ideas in the Republic is the concept of the philosopher king. Plato believed that only those with wisdom and a deep understanding of justice and truth are capable of leading an ideal society. For him, a leader must not only possess talent but also embody morality and a commitment to the common good. This bold perspective challenged the political systems of his time, where power often belonged to those with wealth or influence, rather than intelligence and moral character. The allegory of the cave, a famous section of the Republic, is a clear illustration of Plato's philosophy on knowledge and truth. He described people chained in a cave, seeing only shadows reflected on the wall, symbolizing the limited perception of humanity regarding reality. Only when someone dares to step out of the cave can they see the sunlight, representing the highest truth. Plato used this imagery to emphasize that only those who transcend the limits of ordinary perception and access the world of forms can become true leaders. In the Republic, Plato also delved deeply into the role of education. He argued that education is not merely the transmission of knowledge, but a process that helps individuals develop holistically, from physical to mental, from emotional to intellectual. According to him, an ideal education system should nurture critical thinking, curiosity, and a sense of responsibility towards society. This perspective serves as a foundation for many modern educational systems, emphasizing the importance of fostering independent thought and ethical values. Beyond its philosophical arguments, the Republic is also a work of art, with its dialogues between characters creating vibrancy and engagement. These dialogues are not only a medium for conveying philosophy, but also encourage readers to partake in the quest for truth. This makes the Republic a work not just for philosophers, but for anyone interested in questions of justice, ethics, and society. Although the Republic has faced much debate, particularly about the feasibility of the ideal society Plato described, its influence cannot be denied. The work laid the foundation for political philosophy and sparked extensive discussions on how to build a fair and prosperous society. Plato's ideas, from social stratification to the role of philosopher kings, continue to be studied and applied in fields ranging from politics to education. Ultimately, the Republic is not merely a philosophical treatise, but a call to action. Plato reminds us that building a just society requires courageous and wise individuals who are willing to transcend the limits of perception to seek the truth. He also emphasizes that justice is not an abstract concept, but the result of cooperation, responsibility, and dedication from every member of society. The Republic stands as a testament to Plato's visionary thinking, a vision that transcends time and space, leaving a profound philosophical legacy for humanity. Through its pages, he not only depicted an ideal society, but also inspired us to strive for a better world. The Academy of Athens, founded by Plato around 387 BCE, was not only one of the first centers of education and philosophy in the world, but also a symbol of the pursuit of knowledge and truth. It was not just a place where Plato taught, but also a hub where philosophical, scientific, and artistic ideas were formed and developed, leaving a profound legacy for humanity. What made the Academy of Athens unique was not only its gathering of the leading intellectuals of the time, but also Plato's vision of an ideal academic environment. He viewed teaching not merely as the transmission of knowledge, but as a journey of exploration, where students were encouraged to ask questions, debate, and think critically. This approach shaped a completely new educational method, emphasizing active participation in the holistic intellectual development of learners. One of the Academy's greatest contributions was Plato's transformation of it into a multidisciplinary research center. Beyond philosophy, the Academy also focused on fields such as mathematics, astronomy, politics, and art. Plato believed that to understand the nature of the world and humanity's place within it, a comprehensive and multidimensional perspective was essential. This spirit profoundly influenced his students, including Aristotle, who later became one of the greatest philosophers and scientists in history. At the Academy of Athens, Plato applied the method of philosophical dialogue, a distinctive teaching style of his. Instead of imposing knowledge, he created an environment where students could engage in discussions, debates, and collaborative truth-seeking. This method not only helped students develop independent thinking, but also fostered curiosity and creativity. It laid the foundation for a progressive education system where learning is not just about absorption, but about exploration and innovation. Another highlight of the Academy of Athens was its connection between philosophy and practical application. Plato believed that philosophy was not just theoretical, but also capable of improving society. Drawing from ideas in the Republic, he instilled in his students the importance of justice, ethics, and the role of knowledge in building an ideal society. These values influenced leaders and scholars of the time and left a lasting imprint on history. The Academy of Athens also stood out for promoting free and creative research. Plato did not impose a single ideology, but encouraged diversity in viewpoints and methods. This created a vibrant academic environment where new ideas were welcomed and developed. This spirit significantly contributed to the advancement of human knowledge, laying the groundwork for many later discoveries and innovations. The influence of the Academy of Athens extended far beyond Plato's era. It was not just a place for training exceptional minds, but also a symbol of the fusion of theoretical thought and practical application. The Academy inspired many schools and educational systems worldwide, from the Renaissance to modern times. The spirit of freedom, creativity, and truth-seeking that Plato initiated at the Academy of Athens continues to thrive in today's educational and academic institutions. Ultimately, the Academy of Athens was not just a place, but a symbol of academic spirit and the thirst for knowledge. Plato's legacy through this institution was not limited to lectures or doctrines, but carried a profound message that knowledge knows no bounds, and learning is an endless journey. Plato demonstrated that with the right academic environment, humanity could explore new horizons of knowledge and move closer to a comprehensive understanding of the world. Plato's philosophical dialogues were not only a creative form of presenting philosophy, but also a tool for conveying profound and timeless ideas. Instead of presenting arguments in a dry manner, Plato used the format of dialogues between characters, especially Socrates, to discuss and debate major philosophical issues. This was not just a medium for transmission, but a representation of his approach to philosophy, always questioning and relentlessly seeking the truth. What makes Plato's philosophical dialogues exceptional is the liveliness in character construction. Socrates, his teacher and the central figure in many dialogues, never imposed his views but instead evoked curiosity and guided interlocutors to answers through sharp questions. This method, often referred to as the Socratic method, not only helped uncover new ideas, but also encouraged critical thinking and self-awareness. Dialogues such as Phaedrus, Symposium, and the Republic did not only focus on philosophical themes, but also explored various aspects of life, from love and beauty to justice and the ideal society. In Symposium, Plato examined the nature of love and linked it to the pursuit of truth and eternal beauty. Meanwhile, the Republic employed dialogue to present an ideal society where justice and wisdom were paramount. Moreover, Plato's philosophical dialogues were not merely theoretical conversations, but deeply connected to real-life issues. Through characters and scenarios in the dialogues, Plato highlighted social, ethical, and political problems of his era while proposing profound solutions. This is part of why Plato's dialogues remain compelling and meaningful even in modern contexts. Another aspect that makes Plato's dialogues stand out is his use of language and structure to engage readers. The questions in the dialogues are not only directed at the characters, but also invite readers to reflect and seek answers themselves. This transforms the dialogues into an endless intellectual journey, where each reading brings new discoveries. Ultimately, Plato's philosophical dialogues are not just his legacy, but an inexhaustible source of inspiration for generations of philosophers and thinkers. From Aristotle to Descartes, Kant, and even modern philosophy, the form and content of these dialogues have laid the foundation for numerous debates and philosophical explorations. Through his dialogues, Plato left a powerful message. Philosophy is not about possessing answers, but about an unending journey to seek truth and a deeper understanding of oneself and the world. The relationship with Socrates and Aristotle not only shaped Plato's philosophical ideas but also laid the foundation for the development of Western philosophy over millennia. Socrates, Plato's teacher, and Aristotle, his student, formed a powerful intellectual chain, with Plato serving as the great bridge connecting them. Socrates left no written works, but his philosophy lives on through Plato's dialogues. As Socrates' closest student, Plato not only documented his teachings, but also expanded them into deeper philosophical systems. Socrates, with his relentless questioning, inspired Plato with an eternal spirit of seeking the truth. The Socratic method, focused on questioning and guiding interlocutors to discover the truth, became the foundation of Plato's approach to philosophy. The dialogue form in Plato's works not only honored his teacher but also served as a tool for exploring and presenting his own philosophical concepts. A unique aspect of the relationship between Plato and Socrates is how Plato inherited and expanded his teacher's ideas. While Socrates focused on personal ethical questions, Plato extended them to encompass social and political issues. He sought not only to answer the question, how should one live a virtuous life, but also to build a just society where knowledge and ethics are celebrated. This is vividly reflected in the Republic, where Plato combined Socratic ethical principles with his vision of an ideal society. While Socrates profoundly influenced Plato in ethics and method, Aristotle, Plato's student, challenged and expanded many of his ideas. At the Academy of Athens, Aristotle learned the foundational concepts of Plato's theory of forms, but developed a different approach, focusing on the material world and empirical observation. Aristotle disagreed with Plato's theory of forms, arguing that knowledge must be based on real-world observation rather than abstract ideas. Despite significant differences, the relationship between Plato and Aristotle illustrates the power of education and debate in philosophy. Aristotle became a great philosopher in his own right, developing independent systems of thought while still bearing Plato's influence. This inheritance and debate not only advanced philosophy, but also demonstrated the richness and diversity of Western philosophical thought. The relationship among Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle is not just a story of intellectual transmission, but a symbol of the power of learning and innovation. Socrates inspired Plato to delve deeper into the truth, and Plato, through the Academy of Athens, inspired Aristotle and countless generations of philosophers thereafter. This intellectual chain not only shaped Western philosophy, but also laid the foundation for many other fields of knowledge, from science and politics to art. Ultimately, the relationship between Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle is a powerful testament to the importance of intellectual inheritance and development. Each figure in this chain contributed unique perspectives, yet they all shared a common goal: to explore and better understand the nature of existence, truth, and humanity. Their legacy is not only the body of philosophical works, but also a reminder that knowledge is a continuous journey, where each generation learns from its predecessors to expand new horizons. Plato was not only an exceptional philosopher, but also an enduring symbol of knowledge and discovery. His influence extended widely, from philosophy and politics to art, shaping how humanity understands the world and its place within it. Through his timeless works and innovative doctrines, Plato inspired not only his contemporaries, but countless generations that followed. Plato's philosophy went beyond theory, delving into practice and challenging us to think about justice, ethics, and the nature of reality. His ideas remain relevant and vibrant in modern society, from liberal education systems to how we understand personal and collective responsibility. His philosophy not only addressed grand questions, but also opened doors to exploring the deepest issues of life. The Academy of Athens, founded by Plato, was not just an educational center, but a symbol of relentless pursuit of knowledge. From this institution, great ideas sprouted and spread, leaving a lasting legacy on Western civilization. Plato did not merely teach knowledge, but also how to live, using intellect to create a fairer and more humane society. He laid the foundation for many ethical and social values that we continue to uphold today. One of Plato's greatest contributions was his emphasis on the role of critical thinking and curiosity in the quest for truth. For him, Asking questions and relentlessly seeking answers were at the heart of progress. From his dialogues, we learn that truth is not always obvious but must be sought through reflection and debate. This spirit is significant not only in philosophy but also in every aspect of life. Plato's impact extended far beyond philosophy. His ideas influenced art, science, and how we build societies. In art, his concept of ideal beauty continues to resonate, encouraging artists to seek perfection beyond the limits of the physical world. In science, Plato's spirit of curiosity and methodological approach inspired countless scientists in their exploration of the universe and humanity. Plato's legacy is also a powerful reminder of the importance of education. He believed that education was not merely about transmitting knowledge, but about nurturing the soul, helping individuals better understand themselves and the world around them. This philosophy laid the groundwork for many modern education systems, emphasizing independent thinking and ethical consciousness alongside knowledge. As Plato emphasized, knowledge is a never-ending journey. He reminded us that curiosity and the spirit of discovery are the guiding torches for human progress. Today's and future generations must learn from him to continuously seek truth, surpass limitations, and expand new horizons. This is how humanity can move closer to a comprehensive understanding of life and itself. Plato did not just leave humanity with timeless philosophical works, but also a powerful message about the importance of living a life full of curiosity, responsibility, and a thirst for knowledge. He taught us that to achieve progress, each person must courageously ask questions and tirelessly seek answers. Let Plato's spirit inspire us, guiding us on the journey to uncover the mysteries of the universe and the profound meaning of existence.